Katie would like to have a copy of this too. Who? That shelter.
Shelters, like,
Two of them. This budget, two.
this is ours, okay, yeah. We're ready for you, Dan.
Now, I see we're still down on here for the fee schedule. Upon further review on the fees, I think with the changes that we made there this spring on the industrial and commercial stuff, we're in good shape on the fees. I don't see any need to hit our residents for any more on the houses or anything. We're starting to see a little bit of revenue feed in on this other stuff. From the oil and gas stuff to the new welfare office we're going to build up here at Smithburg. We're starting to see some more revenue come on that. So I don't think at this time that's something that we need to address. I do, however, have with me an instruction page for gas development in the floodplain. And there seems to be a lot of confusion, you know, these oil and gas outfits contacting KD, contacting, what we got to do, what we got to do. We don't understand this thing, okay? So here is simplified a cover page to put with the improvement location permit. It states just flat out here what they need to do to be able to develop in the floodplain and oil and gas stuff. And I don't know, since that's not on the agenda, whether that's something we need to carry over next time or review or how this works or whatever on that. But it's simply a instruction cover sheet for our existing floodplain here.
Well, you're on the agenda, so we can, that's just
going
going
to
to
be the only change.
At this point, yes, at this point. What's going on with that? We have, I've been working with Rick McElroy in Harrison County to come up with a new floodplain ordinance. You may have been reading in the paper where they have been reading a floodplain ordinance up there. Well, what they found out they had to do first, it seems that we're going to have to bounce this through FEMA before we can officially get things changed. And what Harrison County is doing right now is adopting page for page the same ordinance we get off of asphalt. When you're reading this.
everybody's just kept with it just suddenly.
Yeah, you know, they kind of got in the same situation. They got up against the wall and they said, hey, you've got to have this through to this date of October or whatever, or these people aren't going to get flood insurance. But if you're going to make these changes, we also need to review these changes that you're making in this. So that's kind of where we're hung up on the changes we're making on the floodplain ordinance as it sits right now. But this is the instruction page that he has put together. We reviewed it and everything, and I thought it would work fine. And, you know, we clear up some of the confusion for these oil and gas people that's going in here saying, well, we got to do drill or we get a permit or whatever. This parallels the very one that Harrison County has also, so we're not standing as an island on this. But whether this is something that can be adopted today or whether it has to be read, I don't know the technicalities of it. And that's really all I have today. As far as what's happened, like I said before, the fellow that's got the contract on the Health and Human Services new building over at Smithburg there has got a permit on that.
That's right.
And Mark West is, I'm still wrangling around with them on some things they've got going on. They're kind of stalling at this point, but I think we'll get them all set here to take care of it.
It's a 94 GUC.
94.
Thank you, Pat.
Okay.
Thank you, Pat.
That's going to bring the information over to Beth for them.
And that's all that I have for you today.
This question was, okay, are you working on a new floodplain ordinance, or can you not get?
We are working on condensing and amending the ordinance that we have.
Okay.
But we have been told now by our regional FEMA representative, and of course I can understand them want some input, that they want to see this and review it before we pass it.
Can you do that before this deadline, and when is that deadline?
we're not meeting any deadline ourselves. It's Harrison County that's his meeting, that's October deadline that we had to meet a year ago
Okay,
when we adopted this ordinance.
that wasn't real quick, thank you.
Yes,
Okay.
but they had their own ordinance up to this point. They didn't have the one that we had. And FEMA said, no, you know, you've got to change it. And like I said, we've been making the changes, but getting through all the hoops. And they were against this deadline. They're like, okay, we want to do the one that you've got, then we're going to change it here in the next few months once we get there. Go ahead.
And we've got to have a decision made by the 24th, don't we, for the new?
For the permit thing and all, now as far as this floodplain stuff, no, we don't have to do anything on that, but yes.
So I'm waiting to hear from the attorney. He's supposed to call me back to let me know what to do.
Yes, I am scheduled to talk with Mr. Tennant at 1 o'clock today.
Okay.
About that.
Good. That's great.
And we tried to touch base before the weekend, and I got hold of him, he was on the road on his phone, he called me back, I was on the road on my phone, and he's supposed to call me at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and I'm supposed to roll some things with you.
Good.
So this probably needs to be on the agenda for 18.
Yes.
Do we have to act on this right here?
That's what I don't know, if that's something you have to ask, this is just an instruction page for the existing ordinance. I mean, that's just stating what's already in the ordinance and telling them, hey, this is what you got to do. You don't have to read 50, 75 pages to do it.
It's just simplifies.
Yeah, you know, and attach that to the front of the application that we have now. So if they're doing oil and gas, you know, the person doing this house over here doesn't need that page.
Right.
But if they're, you know, applying for something going on in the floodplain for oil and gas, I would like to see this be the cover page on the application.
Well, I'm gonna make a motion that we put this on for the cover page on the application.
Do we hear a second? All in favor, signify aye. Motion approved. Permit application instructions will be on the cover page.
I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's putting in camping sites.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're in the floodplain. Explain to me how this can happen.
I asked the FEMA people up at Canadian Valley the very same thing. And the way it's wrote up in there, that is all perfectly legal for 90 days. But after 90 days, they're supposed to be moved. Well, who is there to monitor, you know, if they move them after 90 days? And as long as it has the tires and everything on it, has the quick disconnect, so you can hook up to it with your pickup, get it out of there in 5 minutes, it's all perfectly fine in the floodplain. That's the bottom line.
You're on the ball then.
Yeah, well, I've been asking the same question, and I said, hey, you know, there's gonna be campers floating down these rivers from here to New Orleans or whatever one of these days. What, you know, what is it about this? And that's the way they explained it to me, was that they were only technically supposed to be there for 90 days, and they are supposed to be set up to where you can, not up on blocks with the wheels pulled off,
Yeah.
where they can hook up to them, unplug the electric, disconnect the sewage, hose real quick, or whatever, yeah.
Now, I got another question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you raise the elevation for a campsite in the floodplain?
Well, it would be the same as altering it in any other situation or whatever there. If you're altering, you know, that elevation of the floodplain, now you should be going through, you know, now by altering, I'm saying, you know, I'm not saying if they put down 6, 8 inches of stone or something like that. I think that's getting a little bit picky if they put a little stone down and run a truck over or something like that.
I'm saying, well, if you raised it 2 feet,
Well, that definitely would be something where they should get a permit, because they're putting fill in the floodplain. Now again, you know, a lot of that depends on whether it's a designated floodplain or not. Like you're talking up the head of one of these hollows and everything, where it's not considered a 100-year flood, there isn't much you can do about it.
this is an everyday flood.
But, you know,
So what do we do about it? What do we do about the situation? It's already done, there's campers sitting there.
well, if it's already done, there's campers sitting there, about the most we can do is give them a slap on the wrist and say, hey, you got to pay double the regular fee for having done this already without going through the permits and all there. And again, that's kind of a joke as it's set up right at the moment or whatever there, because that fee on there is only like $50 or something. So maybe that is one we should tweak, is what to do in the penalty.
Where's the
if they don't.
Where's this at?
See that way? Right there behind Parrot Inn. Tell me that don't flood.
Oh my, yes, that was one of the worst areas we had down through there in the last one.
Yeah.
I met with an individual, and I think I informed you that there 2 or 3 months ago, he was supposed to go try to get some federal money to clean up the creek somewhere in the county. Well, I see it all ended up in Marion County and up in Montague County to Deckers Creek or something, but I took him over there and told him, this looked to me like about as, most needed any place we have is that Sedalia area right there, getting the creeks cleaned out a little bit.
They're trying to fill the creek bank, they're just gonna flood it.
But yes, if they've already done something on the area, and we may, we haven't ever done anything to that extent, but there may be some legal recourse that we can have through Brooke or something there to slap some kind of injunction or something on there. I'm not really sure on that, to go to that extent. That's something we haven't gotten into that far yet, so I don't know. On the monetary end of it, I'm afraid there isn't a whole lot we can do at this point, really. They're slapping with a little bit of a double fee, which on that type of fee right now we've got set up. We've got the commercial and industrial set up there. So then I guess maybe we need better definitions on those. I mean, do you consider that trailer park to be, commercial? I don't guess you consider it to be industrial. But if it falls underneath that commercial one, which we could argue, then we could slap him with a pretty good fine on that part of it right there. Which I think you could argue if you're putting those trailers in there, or, it's certainly not recreational. Doing it. He's, I assume, charging him $500 or something like I'm hearing to settle there. So I think that would be a business which would be commercial in my opinion. So give me the information and we can pursue it in that direction or something there and see what happens.
Okay.
Anything else?
Thank you, Dan. Where you gonna be this afternoon?
I'll be around here. I gotta work on paperwork, so you got my phone number, or you'll be at the house or cell phone or something like that. I've been going all weekend. I had 18 messages on the machine, so I'm gonna be busy around here today.
Give me your phone number again.
Okay, the home one's 873-2329,
Okay.
and cell 629-7249.
Thank you.
Beth, here's the bills.
Oh.
We've got to turn to think of somebody for the public service. Do you know anybody in public service? Do you know who to put on the public service commission?
Excuse me, how many more do we need?
Two.
Brooke upstairs, you know.
Imagine.
Brooke upstairs.
This morning, judge was here.
I'm has she got court?
I don't know what they have. I never know what.
I'm gonna walk up there.
The judge here.
Judge here.
Beth gave me the thing on that truck. It was purchased in '09 for $5,000.
5,000.
Was there any correspondence?
Where it was total. It was total. Do we have any correspondence? Do we have any correspondence?
Now, all I have is,
Let me have those bills, please.
could use a four-wheel drive vehicle.
That's a good idea.
I'm just trying to think of, you know, before you give it away for $100, you know?
Yeah.
Did the gentleman leave a letter that was here this morning?
Oh, I was waiting for the mapping.
They aren't even on here. Yeah, they are.
Because he's supposed to sign this one. Or-
That's all. What that is, you know, the increment.
Yeah.
That's the few from AA.
Oh, this is?
Not all of them, just a few. They have.
Oh, okay.
This makes sense, the way to do it.
Yeah, pretty easy for them to understand.
Another cut, and that's
Uh,
another cut, and that's
Go ahead, go on in. This one up there. For sure.
And right that way.
94, right?
Huh?
It's 94, Jim, so. Five.